Today I'm going to my local camera store to get my new lens for the Nikon ZF. And today there's also a special event at that store, so let's have a look. There it is. It's a new day, and unfortunately I had to rush back to my family. Therefore I wasn't able to take more footage at the camera store, which had a quite nice event with different camera brands. Shout out to Fotoprofi in Esslingen, not sponsored. But okay, here the 28mm 2.8 and testing it as a vlogging lens, since I'm out again for a quick walk to get my daughter a quick nap. And since it's getting darker, I'm currently at ISO almost 8000. Sure, you can say that 28mm is a little bit tight for vlogging. I think the optimal focal length would be about between 20 and 24, but with the 28 it's definitely doable. And this is how it looks through video at 2.8, and this is also how the autofocus performs on the screen. It looks like it's grabbing my eye constantly. Looks quite good. Can you confirm that in the comments? I'm also filming right now with stabilization on, and I just realized that I will do an upcoming video which I will dedicate to the video features of the ZF, since these specs are quite impressive. In context of photography, I will also do a POV video. Doing that quick walk, I only took a few test shots with that lens, basically in the darkness, but that gave me the opportunity to test the IBIS. All these shots you see right now on the screen were shot about half a second or 1/4 of a second, shutter open, so quite impressive in my opinion. That IBIS Leica implemented into the ZF is just amazing. But now back to the 28mm 2.8 SE lens for the ZF. And to be honest, I got this lens mainly to film myself for my YouTube channel, because I needed a wider lens, and the ZF is currently the best autofocus camera I currently have. And therefore I want to use it to film myself for this channel. Besides my personal use case for this lens, in my opinion, this 28mm 2.8 is the perfect addition or companion to the 40mm f2, because with that combo you're covered on the wider field of view and the almost telephoto field of view. 40mm is not really telephoto, but it's also tighter than 35, something in between. And I personally find this combo quite useful. Besides the focal length, both lenses are relatively fast. 40mm f2 is very good in my opinion. The 28mm has an aperture of 2.8. You might find that a little bit slow and you can't have as much bokeh. For example, here my background is not blurred out as much. I think that's good enough. And if you are talking about zoom lenses like the 24-70 2.8, their 2.8 is also fine for most people. So why shouldn't this 28mm 2.8 be any worse than the zoom lenses? Both the 28mm SE and the 40mm SE from Nikon have the special retro look design, which fits perfectly to the Nikon ZF. And I really like how this look on this camera. Both lenses have the same housing. That means despite the focal length, the size, the weight and the design is completely identical. And the diameter is also the same size, so you can use the same filters on both lenses if you want. Both lenses are relatively small and relatively light. Main reason for that is because the build is almost or just plastic, which I don't have anything against that. That allows the lens to be quite light. But if you compare this lens or these two lenses with the competitors from Canon and Sony, for example, the Nikon versions, for me personally, feel more cheap, although the price is higher. If you look at the prices on B&H, for example, the Canon RF 50mm 1.8, it's the cheapest, but I had that lens before, and although it's also almost plastic, I find the build has a better build quality, and also the lens mount is metal. And these Nikon lenses just have plastic rings. Time will tell if that's a bad thing or not. In daily use, you won't notice anything. If you compare these the Nikon lenses to the Sony, so to say, Baby G series, for example, I had the Sony 50mm 2.5 G, and that lens is very nice. The build is completely metal, it's light, it's small, and it's fantastic to use. It's also more expensive, but since these Nikon lenses sit between the Canon and the Sony's one, I also hope that the build quality regarding the tactile feel would be also somewhere in between. But yeah, regarding performance on first look, using the 40mm for a while now and now the 28, both of them perform quite very well, and I will use them more extensively the next few days, since these are my only lenses for the Nikon ZF. But I think this is just a great combo for the Nikon ZF, especially because of the retro design. I also got lucky to purchase that 28mm SE version at that Fotoprofi camera event day. Because of the event, I got a special discount on that lens, so that was pretty neat. Already mentioned, not sponsored. This is quite a random video, but as I already mentioned, samples for video and photo will come in the upcoming weeks. I'm very happy with this lens combo for the ZF. It completes the retro design very neatly. And if you're still here watching, thank you very much. You deserve the like. If you want to support my small little channel, just check the affiliate links below in the description. And if you want to know what I prefer from the ZF compared to the Leica Q3, just click on this video.